Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Now, if you guys had been here at 7 a.m. this morning, you would be astonished at the way this site was. From last night's storms, everything was drenched. So I want to take a moment, first and foremost, to thank the crew that worked the last 3 hours to get this presentable for this momentous occasion. So give a round of applause to everyone. So again, good morning. I'm your host for the day. My name is Percy L. Wells II. I'm Group Vice President of Government Relations, Public Affairs, and Communications. I'm really excited about this. This has been a long time coming. Pandemic set us back a couple years, so we should have had this event over 2 years ago. But you know what? Things happen for a reason, and we're here today. We're going to have a lot to talk about today. Today is all about celebration. But before I do that, I wanted to at least recognize some of our elected officials. We have the Honorable Mayor Castor with us today. And we also have the Honorable Commissioner Cohen with us today. I'll be making announcements of other guests as we go on throughout the day, so thank you. As I mentioned, today is about celebration. So let me tell you a story about Coke, Florida. A little over 7 years ago, some guy about 6'6" had a vision. Maybe 6'5", I don't know, 6'6", had a vision about owning a franchise in the Coca-Cola system. And he didn't know where it was. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what he wanted to do, but didn't know where it was going to be. He had a vision then come to him for Florida. Who thought Florida would be the market that goes to Troy Taylor? Well, Troy Taylor not only was awarded the opportunity to purchase the market, but he started 7 years ago with 5 employees, just 5. Today, we have over 4,600 employees across the state. That is a remarkable thing to celebrate. Our territory covers 47 counties, from Jacksonville down to the Keys, the 4 major metropolises. So we are in position to continue to grow our business. This has been exciting, my 4 years here. I came from the Coca-Cola Company after 25 years. One thing Troy didn't tell me when he talked to me at that dinner we had 4 years ago, he didn't tell me how hot it got in June. I mean, David brought me down to lunch, and it was February, and it was 70 degrees and sunshine. I'm like, I can live with this. A little different in summer. So let's talk a little bit more about Coke, Florida. In the short 7 years that we've been in existence, we have grown to a $1.5 billion revenue company. The 4th largest company, black-owned, in the state of Florida. I'm sorry, the first number 1 store company in the state of Florida, the 4th in the U.S. That's a phenomenal feat to celebrate in just 7 years. We produce more than 100 cases of product in our 4 manufacturing facilities, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, and Broward County. So those 4 facilities produce products for over 30,000 customers in Florida. And so as we are growing each and every year, you know, the investments that Troy and his family are making in the Coke Florida business are phenomenal. That's why we're here today. We're going to talk about this phenomenal facility that we're about to build here in Tampa. Now, this is just the beginning. This is essential to our operations across the state. This is the second brownfield building that we will start to build here in Florida. The first one was just across the bridge in St. Petersburg. That is underway today. It's a smaller facility, 20,000 square feet, 5 acres roughly. Here we stand on 156 acres. The facility that we're about to embark on is more than 800,000 square feet in size. It'll be fully automated. It will allow us to serve not only the Tampa area, but our surrounding markets as well. This is just the beginning of what we plan for those other facilities. Now, they won't be brownfield builds. They will have essential operations and automation added to it that will allow us to grow and to do what? Better serve our customers. You all know that better than anyone. So we're excited about being able to do that over the next 5 to 10 years. So today we're going to have just a brief ceremony with some of our key guests who are here and allow them to express what this all means to the state of Florida. One thing I should add, you know, these 18 facilities that we have across the state and 4 manufacturing facilities, We have over a payroll of over $250 million. Can you imagine that? Just from this company, what we pay our people. That is phenomenal. And that not only helps us out, it helps the state out because it's economic empowerment for the state to spend those dollars back in the state. So we're excited about that, looking forward to doing more as we grow over the next 10, 20, 100 years? 100 years. So that's worth celebrating. Now, if we can get started with meeting some of our key guests. First and foremost, we have a young lady that started in the police business. She was chief of police for many years. She ran for office to be mayor, and I can recall seeing her in the office with flip-flops on when she was campaigning, just coming to hang out with Coke Florida. She's been a friend of our family and company for many years. The Honorable Mayor Castro, please.
All right. What a wonderful day this is today, and on this brisk morning, too. I mean, how wonderful is it here? Nice to have a little bit of a breeze going on. But this is a momentous occasion. My only regret is that this wasn't annexed into the city. But I see the county representatives, and I understand their joy as well. But I just want to speak very, very briefly about Coca-Cola as a company and Troy Taylor as a human being. The first time I met Troy Taylor, I was still the chief of police, and he asked if I would come and have lunch with him. And you know those individuals, you meet a lot of people each and every day, and there are those few people that the second you meet them, you have that connection, and you feel that warmth and that vibe that this is a unique person, and that is Troy Taylor. He clearly is an excellent business leader and visionary, but he understands to be successful, it is to surround yourself with an incredible team, and that's what he has done at Coca-Cola. He has amassed the best team that I have ever seen. Always available, always working, always innovating, always looking at how not only they can grow the company, but lift up the community. And he even has a couple of Tampa's finest with Eric Ward and Mark Hamlin as well. But the team is outstanding. So as a business model, this is something that we should all study. And the success is proof in itself of what a great business model he has put into place, but not only what a great business leader he is, but also what I want to talk about is Troy Taylor, the person, and the philanthropic road that he has taken his business down. There has never been a call to Troy or his team that has gone unanswered, and never a request that has not been fulfilled. Whether it's computers for young kids learning how to code with computer mentors, whether it's refreshments for an event for the youth in our community, scholarships for men of vision so that we can ensure that every young person in our community has the opportunity to reach their God-given potential. Troy and Coca-Cola are there. So I appreciate the success of Coca-Cola as an organization, but more so what touches my heart is the success of Coca-Cola as a member of the community, understanding the responsibility to give back to our community so that everyone in our city and our county can enjoy the success that not only Coca-Cola is realizing, but our entire community is. So this development here is incredible. It is going to jumpstart so much more development and bring other businesses into our community. So I can't thank Troy and his team enough, but also to all of the employees in Coca-Cola, you're the ones that make it happen. So God bless you all and congratulations on this great day.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to also recognize a few other elected officials and guests who are here with us today. Former Hillsborough County Commissioner Sandy Merman, I saw you earlier. Thank you for joining us. Councilmember Donahue, I think I saw you as well, somewhere in here. Thank you for joining us as well. And Hillsborough County, I won't say this, Sheriff-to-be, but Sheriff, Captain-to-be, Major Collins, you're here as well. Thank you. So, this is in Hillsborough County, as the mayor mentioned, and so we have with us one of the commissioners here. The commissioner who represents this particular area was not able to be with us today, but we do have some great representation, and so I'd like to bring up Commissioner Mr. Cohen, please.
Thank you very much. It's really great to be here today. When you follow the mayor onto the podium, usually she's been talking about what a wonderful community it is and the fact that everybody wants to live here and be here because we have such a wonderful quality of life. And notwithstanding the heat today, the best possible thing you can do is have a nice ice cold Coke and it'll take all your troubles away. Congratulations to the Taylor family on what is really a very momentous occasion. My predecessor on the commission, Sandy Merman, who is here today, actually voted on the zoning of this property when it originally came up. And I know that it's really very heartwarming to see something you've worked on really come to fruition. So to everyone here, I want to wish you hearty congratulations and let you know that the county is looking forward to being your partner. The Board of County Commissioners works really hard to nurture a really prosperous business environment for the region. And this is a phenomenal addition to our community. And we want to thank you for choosing us because, in fact, you chose to be here. And we're thrilled to have you, and we're going to work very hard to make sure that this is a wonderful partnership. I think someone said something about 100 years, so let's go for 100 years.
Thank you, Commissioner Cohen. A couple other friends of the family who are here, great colleagues of ours I'd like to recognize. Christopher Richardson and Mark Arnold from Andrews Kurth. Attorneys who work very hard on making this facility come to life. Thank you guys for being here. From the Environmental Protection Agency, Ms. Kim Tapley, thank you also for taking time out to spend with us today. Thank you. Also, my dear friend and colleague from Coca-Cola North America out of Atlanta, Joanna Price, if you're still here, thank you for being with us, Joanna. We greatly appreciate you. So our next speaker is a good friend of mine and colleague, and he doesn't have a bad golf game. Although I think I took some of his money. I think I won't say it out loud, but we have with us this gentleman who worked really hard on helping us, giving us guidance on this property to ensure that we were able to get everything we need with permits and things to get it going. So my dear friend Craig Richards is the President and Chief Operating Officer, Chief Executive Officer. I demoted you. I apologize. Of the Tampa Bay Economic Development Corporation. Please welcome Craig to the mic.
Thanks, Percy. I'm still trying to get my money back.
This pocket over here.
Let me tell you, do not bring your wallet when you play this guy on the golf course. Thank you so much. It really is an honor to be here with you today and celebrating, I think, one of the greatest milestones that I can remember in my profession since I've been here at the EDC. Just so you know, when we announced this project 2 or 3 years ago, it was then the largest capital investment announcement that we'd had in like 5 years. So this is a huge project, and this is a major undertaking. And working on this expansion was one of the, as I mentioned, one of the largest projects that we'd had in recent years. So it's really rewarding to finally be here today, putting shovels in the ground and kicking off some construction for this brand new state-of-the-art facility, which is going to bring significant economic investment and jobs to our community. As was said earlier, Coke Florida is one of the largest employers in the state of Florida. They are the largest minority-owned business in the state, and the 4th largest in the U.S. And they were recently honored as a best managed company in the U.S. And we're proud to have them headquartered right here in Tampa and Hillsborough County. But in addition to being one of the largest and best employers here locally, they're also admired for being an outstanding corporate partner, as the mayor mentioned earlier, and a great neighbor. As part of their strong commitment to giving back to our local communities through education and economic empowerment, they provide technology to urban communities by donating laptops to students and equipping computer labs with new technology. And we're thrilled that Troy and his team are deepening their commitment to our community. I want to also acknowledge our business development team with the Tampa Bay EDC, particularly Adam Myers, who's our project manager from our team that helped work with this project. And it's the magnitude and the many facets of a project like this that makes our job so rewarding. Our area is experiencing tremendous growth and prosperity right now. And this facility is going to allow Coke Florida to expand their business and better serve more than 21 million customers across the state. So I want to give a heartfelt congratulations to Troy and Percy and Thomas and the whole Coke family on this expansion. I can't wait to come back and actually do the ribbon cutting. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We have some other guests here with us today. I want to recognize Colonel Moore. Thank you very much for being here. I think Allison from Environmental Protection was just mentioned by Craig, I think. So she's here as well. Thank you for being with us. And of course, the last three we'll announce as they come to the mic. Now, Craig, I don't know who wrote your speech, but you took half of my speech. Did my assistant do that? Okay, so thank you for those kind remarks. We really appreciate it. We're excited about what this holds for us. This venture is just the beginning again, and so this is going to allow us to even, I won't say double. Do you want us to double the business, Troy? Is that what you? Triple. Oh, triple. I'm sorry, triple the business. So we're going to get started with this as soon as we throw these shovels in the ground. But before we do that, it's important that I bring up the sales director who will lead these great folks in red Coke shirts for this new facility. So Shannon Smith is our sales director for Tampa. Shannon, please come here. Come here.
Thank you, Percy. Good morning, everyone. Approximately 6 years ago, I had the opportunity to join the Coke Florida family as the sales director for the Tampa territory. Early on, I learned very quickly what the vision of Coke Florida was. But not only did I learn what that vision was, I had an opportunity for the past 6 years and counting to be able to witness the many actions, activities, investments made in our business as well as our associates in the pursuit of achieving that vision. Today is such a special day as we embark upon the construction of a new facility that will bring our sales and distribution, fleet, as well as our off-site storage facility together in one location. It's very exciting for me to have the pleasure of representing the Tampa territory and of almost 800 associates that will be part of this facility. These associates will have the opportunity to work in a state-of-the-art facility. We will also have major impacts, as said earlier, from a capability perspective, putting us in a position to better serve our customers around the greater Tampa area. So once again, we have several Coke Florida associates here today. We also have several Tampa territory associates with us today. So I'd like to give them a hand as well. I feel very confident in saying that we as the Tampa Territory Associates, thank you, Troy. We thank you, Coke Florida, for making this investment in Tampa, making this investment in our business, and making this investment in us. I'll leave you with a few parting words. You know, in our world today, across the entire globe, governments, businesses, organizations, families, individuals are having to try to define what their new normal look like on the heels of a pandemic, as well as the remnants associated with it. What we like to say is, we're so excited that a facility like this will be part of our new normal here in Tampa. So thank you again. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
So Shannon talked about the work that they'll do here in Tampa from a sales perspective. I mentioned earlier that we have more than 30,000 customers here as well. To share just a few remarks, as one of our major customers, a great partner of Coke Florida's, and he happens to work for the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers. Please welcome Chief Operating Officer Brian Ford from Tampa Bucks.
Well, that's a great introduction. We got to keep that going there. Titletown, Tampa, we got to go. And the Bolts will be back coming up, though. Yes. But good morning, and thank you. I'm humbled to be here. This is such an amazing event for so many reasons. It's an amazing event. Look at all the guests that are here today. You take a look around, and it's the who's who of Tampa and our community. And that says a lot. That says a lot about the gentleman behind me, Troy Taylor, his entire organization, his wife Vonda, the family. 7 years ago, this organization started, and we were proud to be one of the first to have the opportunity to work with Troy and his team. And we've never looked back, on and off the field, whether it was at Raymond James Stadium in a sold-out crowd, or if it was for the many, many, many community events. And the mayor touched on a lot of it. And there was an award that happened last week about being the best managed. And we can talk about increasing sales, and we can talk about efficiencies in this 800,000 square foot facility that's going to be here. And we can talk about the 4,600 associates that are part of this organization. And managed is managed, and yes, there's a business purpose behind it. And as being the business guy for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I can appreciate that and respect that. But it goes much farther, and it goes farther. There's never been an event that we have not partnered up to make a difference in this community, and that's the relationship that we respect and honor and cherish. We've never served anything at a Buccaneer game going all the way back to 1976 but a Coca-Cola. Yes, that's... But that won't stop. But more importantly, the contributions that we've made in a joint effort, whether it was Special Olympics or computer labs, I'm proud. And on behalf of the Glazer family, our entire organization, I'm proud to say that Florida Beverage Coca-Cola is a fine partner, but more importantly, the friendship. And we have a little tradition over at $1 to give out game balls to kind of embolic big contributions on the field or off the field, but this into our community. I'm so excited for the 4,600 associates and what this means to the community and to your families and to our relationship. So congratulations. Here's a little game ball.
So Brian hit on some really key points. He talked about the community. And as much as we do in terms of growing our business, we're also focused on the community. Also, Craig talked about the laptops and backpack program that we give away to many students across the state of Florida. We have one of our partners with us here today from the Boys and Girls Club to maybe share just a little bit of what that means to the community here in our investments with the Boys and Girls Club. Please welcome the Chief Operating Officer from the Boys and Girls Club, Mr. Craig Harris.
Thank you, Percy. My name is Keith Harris. I'm the Vice President of Operations for Boys and Girls Clubs of Tampa Bay. And I just bring you greetings on behalf of our entire organization, our corporate board, our trustees, and the 150 or so youth development professionals across our 22 club sites here in Hillsborough and Pasco County. And I'm just honored to be here in the presence of all of these, dignitaries and other guests. And just, you heard the mayor talk about Troy and his organization and some of the philanthropy that they've embarked upon. Now, so I think it's only fitting that I just, share a quick example of what that means, what it really means for the community, being the benefactor of some of that philanthropy. So, everybody thinks about Boys and Girls Clubs, and you think of, kind of an after-school program. But what many, don't realize or recognize is just how significant a role we play in augmenting what our school district is trying to do with kids. So not only are we physically located right next to public schools, but we also have club locations inside of those schools as well. So we pride ourselves on really kind of augmenting what our school administrators are attempting to do. And just one quick example of that is we talked about the pandemic, but over the last couple of years, we know that our students have suffered, especially in certain deserved communities, have suffered a learning loss based on the tragic impact of the pandemic. And so last year, I was able to see firsthand where 2 of our facilities were outfitted with Chromebooks at facilities that were not for partners like Coca-Cola. Those kids wouldn't have the opportunity to sign into the district's platform and continue the learning that they were falling behind on. And so I will tell you that our relationship goes back to 1984. But I've been able to see it firsthand from a couple of different perspectives, sitting on the corporate board and also now as a full-time staff member with the Boys and Girls Clubs. And I can honestly say, thank you, sir, for all of you that you've done for us. And we look forward to continuing our partnership and workforce development in a facility like this. I'm sure will certainly help. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for those kind words. So as we get ready for the final moment of the groundbreaking, I wanted to bring up the visionary individual who is responsible for not only today, but bringing the vision to Florida and growing this business for all of us. So a good friend of mine, I used to call on Troy when I was at the Coca-Cola company. I'd come down once a month and we'd have dinner, and he'd tell me about the vision, and it's all come to life and better. I'm here, so that tells you a lot, right? So I'd love to bring up our chairman and CEO, good friend of mine as well, Mr. Troy Taylor.
Thank you, Percy. And on behalf of my family, my wife, Vonda, my daughter, Erin, my son, Joshua, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. This is a special, special moment. But I'll tell you that, as I listen to each and every one of you speak, I will say that much too much credit has been given to me today for work that's being done by over 4,600 associates in our system today at Coke Beverages Florida. A lot has been said about what my great vision and what I've done, but the truth of the matter is it's been such a great team effort to get us here. No one person can do this alone. You guys know this, and I give all the credit to the Coke Florida associates that have been with us since day one, but also give credit to the Coke associates who have been in the Coca-Cola system for 20, 30 years that are still with us today. While we are only 7 years old, the Coke system has been in Florida for over 100 years. We built on a foundation of 100 years. 100 years of serving ice cold beverages to Floridians, but also 100 years of being a part of the community. And that's what we take most seriously. The thing that I'm proud of what we're going to do here to bring jobs and economic activity to the Tampa Bay area. I'm proud of what we're going to do here to, invest in our communities, but also use small businesses in our community to help bring forward what we're bringing forward with this facility and bring forward what we bring forward every day. But the thing that I'm most proud of is something you've heard over and over again, and that's our community involvement. What we do every day to be involved in this community is very special. And we have a lot of partnerships. Keith talked about Boys and Girls Club. What he may or may not know is I'm a club kid. I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club, so I have a special affinity for that. But what we were able to do day in and day out in our community, helping those less fortunate, bringing jobs, economic activities, because that's the greatest thing we do for our community, is we bring jobs here. Good paying, long-lasting jobs so people could take care of themselves and their families. That's what we really bring here, in addition to the ice-cold refreshments that I'm sure everyone will be partaking of this summer. People talking about how warm it is. I never, ever complain about a hot day. A hot day is a friend of mine. As the mayor said, I met the mayor 7 years ago. Met with the Bucks over 7 years ago, Brian Ford and team. And I think back on that, and it warms my heart how welcoming everybody was to us as we entered. Seeing Sandy Merman, I used to see Sandy Merman at church. She lives we live in the same community. The warm welcome that the Tampa Bay community gave us when we came here is a special thing. And this is a small payback for the many things, the big welcome that the community gave us when we got here, and still give us every day. Though you guys give us a welcome every day when you open up one of our beverages, because the brands belong to the community. The brands belong to people. We represent the brands, but it belongs to the community. This facility here will cost, I think we're going to invest $250 million or so in this facility, Percy? Is it 250? Yes. And that's only, here's the interesting thing. The $250 million that's going in this facility is only 25% of what will be on this property. Coke Florida will only have 25% of this property. We got to fill out the other 75%, and we're going to continue to make investments around what we build here to continue to give back to the community. When I'm looking at my wife, she heard me say $250 million. That means she's going to have to tighten up on her purse strings, but we'll talk about that later. But again, I want to thank each and every one of our guests for coming here today, out in the audience too. I want to give us a big shout out to all of our associates, our executive team, our senior team, our day-to-day team, our Tampa team, our teams across the state. We're here to stay. Coke's been in this community for over 100 years, but it hasn't been in this community for over 100 years under the ownership of me and my family, and we intend to do that as well. There are several Coke bottlers in the Coke system across the nation who have been in the same family's hands for over 100 years. We expect to, and we want to do that here as well. Continue to give back to the community, be a pillar of the community, and yes, when those phone calls come for us to invest in the community, we will always answer them. That's a true testament to the brands and the support that the community gives our brands. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you to our associates. I see all of our associates here proudly wearing red. Thank you guys, because the hard work that you put in every day to represent our brands is the reason we're able to bring this to life. So I thank you to all of our associates for that. That's all I have to say. Back to Percy.
So I think you understand why I say the vision is strong. Troy exhibits that, and we're all excited to be partners and family with him. So, it's time to celebrate. You all ready? Can I have my music? If I could ask the guests to join me down below.
I'm not throwing this.